Good afternoon, teachers. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take a couple of minutes to go over our agenda. But prior to jumping into that, I want to just take a second to talk about your problems of practice. And all of those should be graded and have comments on them. If you're not seeing a comment, then I wasn't able to access it, and you should have received an email from me about that. But with that stated, you do not need to revise those and resubmit those to me now. You will revise and resubmit with your final product, your final tech anchor. This was a rough draft for me to be able to see where you were, considering that this is probably the most important part in the process, is just making sure that you've identified an appropriate problem, which most of you did. Most of them were focused on some established barrier to technology, like a lack of training or a lack of access. And so I just wanted to give you feedback as it related to those problems of practice that you were submitted. I looked at your infographics also. There was quite a few things to grade this week, so I didn't make comments on all of them, but I did read all of them, and there were some great comments about the use of these. Some of you already are using them. Some of you talked about, or a lot of you talked about ways that you could use them in your classroom. For example, units on propaganda, food deserts were mentioned, substitution for PowerPoints. These are great. Several of you talked about using these as a substitution for assessments, more traditional assessments. Great use of these. At least one of you talked about using them with students who maybe struggle with reading or writing as a non-traditional way, or a way for them to demonstrate their understanding of a concept. These really connect to 21st century literacies. They're multimodal, and they allow students a different method to communicate what they know using graphics, audio, video, and other technologies. There were just a lot, there were a lot of great ideas for how these may be used in your classroom. A lot of different takes on which tool individuals liked. I like Adobe Spark personally. There were a lot of folks who liked the different infographic tools that were presented. So I just wanted to make just a brief comment and encourage you to go and look at your colleagues' comments to see some of those wonderful ideas that were presented for utilizing them in their classrooms. So now we turn our attention to our agenda for this week. Just one quick other point. I'm not finished grading your blogs or the other assignments that you turned in this week. I think I've gotten everything done except for a couple of the group work assignments that you turned in. I'll have both of those done tomorrow. Okay, which Wednesday is really still our day for the class starting. I've just been posting the agenda a day earlier. So, learning objectives at the top of the page. Then we have our first item, which is reading, or our readings. And under that particular item, you will see this week you're going to focus on 3 topics. You've been assigned a topic: digital equity, digital literacy, or digital communications. Each individual has been assigned one of those topics. And what you are going to do is you are going to research one of those topics. You're going to identify 5 resources. I've included a more detailed description of this assignment under this link. And what you're going to do is you're going to find, you're going to find 5 articles related to the topic that you've been assigned. And you're going to read those articles, and then using Google Documents, you're going to create a reference page for those resources. And then next week, what you're going to do is you're going to meet with your groups. Everyone in the group is going to have had different topics, and you're going to come together and you're going to jigsaw this assignment, in the sense you're going to share out the information that you have on different topics, and then you're going to create a presentation of what your group has learned on the various topics. And as I said, there's a very detailed description of this assignment along with a rubric. If you have any questions about that, I will revisit this assignment next week, okay, because it's going to take place over 3 weeks. You're going to turn it in. All we're really focused on this first week, or all I'm really focused on, is you've been assigned a topic. You're going to research that topic. You're going to identify 5 resources, and you are going to read those and then create a reference page in a Google document, which you will submit, and that page should follow APA formatting. Quick note on that. On the syllabus, it says the 6th edition of APA. I will take the 6th or the 7th edition of APA formatting. So just wanted to clarify that. Next item, number 2 on our agenda, blog post. Not much to say there. Make sure that you put the week 6 at the top, and then make your 2 posts. Number 3 on our agenda, tech tools. This week we're looking at assessment technologies. Tons of benefits associated with assessment technologies. Everything from increased engagement, ability to adjust instruction. They're green. They save paper. They allow students who may be shy to contribute and to have a voice in your class. They can gamify your class, which increases motivation and excitement. Just a huge list of benefits associated with the use of assessment technologies in your classroom. And for this, I'm talking about specifically more traditional types of formative and summative assessment tools. You can use Flipgrid, you can use Infographics for assessments. This is more kind of more traditional tools for assessing student learning. And I provided a number of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total assessment tools. I've got videos there that I would like for you to watch to learn about these assessments, and then there is a discussion thread for you to make a comment and a few prompts to guide those comments. And then the last item on our agenda for this week is just our summary of assignments. So you have the Google Doc reference sheet, you have your blog posts, and you have the tech tools. And that's all you have for this week. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week. I hope your work weeks are going well. Just wanted to make a quick comment. Just while I was thinking about it, it continues to be Black History Month for the whole month. And in honor of that, I included a picture and a link to a picture of Brian Stevenson. You may have read his book, and now the name's escaping me, Just Mercy. You may have read his book or seen the movie that's based on the book, Just Mercy. He is an interesting man. He's a lawyer. He's a social justice advocate and activist. And a couple of years ago, we took a group of students to the Equal Justice Initiative memorials that he has created in Birmingham. There are 2 of them. There's a museum, and then there is a lynching memorial, and they're both located in Montgomery, Alabama. And if you ever have a chance to go to the National Memorial or the memorial for the victims of lynching, it's the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. I highly encourage you to. I encourage you to look at, I've made a link to the image. I encourage you to look at the resources there and look at the memorial. It's very, very powerful, both of those, the museum and the memorial, extremely powerful places to visit, and I recommend that you go, take your family, take students. You won't regret it. Okay, so again, I'll sign off. I hope everyone is well, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.